Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? This beautiful, beautiful for everybody else. For us in California, it ain't so sunny. But how are you all doing today? Thank you for joining us for this edition of the West Coast Popcast. My name's Eric with the flickery webcam. I apologize for that. I'm joined by the final boss himself. Knock, how are you doing?
The final boss, the power went out on us. It's been a heck of a storm. This is the craziest weather I've seen since I moved to LA. But your boy is doing good, man. Impact Wrestling had 3 shows this week. I'm hyped. I'm good, happy to be here.
And of course, the main man, the provider, Zach, how are you doing?
I am live from Gorilla here at the ROH tapings with Tony Khan right now. Sorry to be at Rampage. Some issues came up, but I'm glad to be back here today.
So that's why you were sniffling. Come on, bro.
Look, we're booking Zack Sabre Jr., we're booking Willow, we're booking all these people in ROH and pretending it's definitely not AEW, but I'm doing better today. Thanks.
Very nice. We've got a good show for you guys planned today. We've got the weekly recap, we got news and rumors, and we've got a nice little discussion based around the Wrestler Observer newsletter winners for year-end awards. So stick around. Thank you for joining us. Ready or Not Wrestling, thank you for being the first one in the chat. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into Monday Night Raw. Zach, was it a bullet or was it a treat?
It was like a sativia strain. It helped me out that night. It set up WrestleMania in very minor ways. Asuka looks to be the heel going into the feud with Bianca. Lita came out on Ding Dong. Trish Stratus was reportedly sent home because creative. It was feeling wonky about what was going on. I don't think that Dakota Kai is cleared. I think that's why the angle hasn't fleshed out with the women. So we'll get more of that next week and figure out what's going on. We have the women's tag division is getting figured out for Mania, and it's dependent on, I think, Dakota Kai and what they're going to do with Lita and Trish involved in that. But Bronson Reed got a win over Gable in a really good match. And at the end, Finn helped Theory get the win over Edge for the U.S. Championship. Theory retained, and we're setting up Finn versus Edge at Mania. And The Miz has some big surprise that he's revealing tomorrow night.
Oh. First of
He's
all,
got another kid on the way.
honestly, I buy it. First of all, props to them for putting Bronson with Chad Gable. Just put everyone with Chad Gable because he can just work his ass off. That's a great pairing.
That was good.
Oh man. What was the knock? You were saying that your prediction. You think who's walking out with the tag women belts at the end of Mania?
And the Mania. Now, so I thought it'd be like I could have seen Lita and Becky there, or Trish teaming up with Becky, or some situation. But now I think tomorrow Raw, I think Becky and Lita win the belts. I don't see how you put them in a match and not have it end with them winning.
Yeah.
That's one way to go. Another way to go is if Dakota Kai is okay, you can have them face Shayna and Baszler and Ronda at Mania for the belts, and then put Trish with Bayley and have her do a heel turn. Or you can have someone take the belts off. You can have Baszler and Ronda take the belts off early and face someone new, or do a 4-way tag match at Mania and get more people on the card.
I could see that happening. 4-way tag match.
They usually do. Actually, if you look back at all the times tag team titles have been on Mania, they've done a 4 or 5 women match. So I can see that.
Yeah. Of course, it's becoming a tradition at this point, but prime time in the chat. It's Zach.
Oh man!
Thank you to everyone in the chat. Leaving Co. How's it going, Mr. All Power? We'll hit the chats more in depth in a second. What did you guys think about how's the Edge storyline moving for you guys?
I'm still ready for it to be done, but it's picked up a lot. Like this last few weeks have been pretty great for the storyline, and we're gonna get Edge versus possible Demon Balor at Mania. So I'm very excited to see that go. And we all know this might be Edge's last year, so it's a good person to go out to at Mania for his last Mania, possibly.
I agree. It's going to be a fun match. It's one on his bucket list, so that's good.
Yeah. My only thing is, if it is Demon Balor, I need him to win.
He does have to
Yeah,
win.
I agree. That's tough.
Yeah. He never should have lost to Roman, but if we just pretend that didn't happen and pretend that the Demon is still undefeated on the main roster, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm glad doing that.
Really quick, I just want to put a moratorium on Cody coming out and saying, "So, what do you want to talk about?" Like, just man, we're good. We don't need to keep doing that.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Question for you guys. Who do you think, from Carnage Rage, who do you think is going to win the main event between Roman and Cody?
Roman.
Cody all the way. It's been a long road, but Cody believes in family, like Vin Diesel, his hero Vin Diesel, and Cody's gonna win at Mania against Roman Reigns. But don't let that deter you from checking
I'll
out
put
our
my hair
new
on the
Roman
line for that.
Reigns. What happened?
I'll put my hair on the line on that main event.
Oh man,
Roman's winning.
You heard it here first. Book it. Timestamp it.
Oh man. I went into this Cody after the Rumble, but a lot of people have been pointing like if Roman wins, then he'll make it to 1,000 days.
Yeah.
But
Who's he got left to beat in that reign? Is he going to beat Hogan in there? I think that's kind of a main get, is to beat Hogan.
I mean,
Yeah, I think it is Hogan.
Yeah, I think it is. Because what's his name? Bruno is still. I think Bruno's like way.
Yeah.
He's like a good. Yeah, he's a gajillion.
Yeah. We'll see. And question from Black Gallic: do you think we'll get Edge versus Cena one last time?
Fuck up. We're minutes in, and we already got to talk about this.
Yes, yes.
John Cena.
If there's any justice in the world, we will get Edge versus Cena in a 3 Stages of Hell 120-minute Iron Man
where
match,
Edge finally wins.
Where Edge will finally do the job like a respectful to the man who made his career.
Oh man,
Okay, would you book that?
I think T-Day
TK
could book it.
TK's feeling
T-Day would book it.
Anything else from Raw that you guys want to touch on?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I actually have I have another question in the chat from Mira. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Question for Zach. When's the next promo school, and will you be adding the Selena Gomez Haley Bieber feud?
Oh, I could read about it and do it next week.
Okay.
I have a promo school planned for today, but I have no idea what's going on with that, but I'll figure it out next week, and there'll be a promo school next week.
Eric, is your girl into this one?
This is the first time I've heard. I'm sure she's told me, but I'm
oh man, yeah, this is something. It's crazy right now, but it's funny you brought that up. Actually,
not my girl Selena.
All right.
Did you see Carnage Rage?
What was that, Doc?
I was like, real quick, Carnage Rage. What are our thoughts on these rumors that Vince McMahon is back in creative control?
Okay, there's no way that Vince McMahon is in WWE and not going down to the creative room like that. That's impossible.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in charge, but there's no way that he's not walking in there like, "Hey guys, what hot shit you coming up with?"
You think he's underneath like trying to throw his voice? Have Sammy win in Montreal. Well, that's a good idea. Whoever said that?
What was the I thought it was just because it was Gable and Otis, it was funny, but their male model thing, their Chippendale thing, that sounded Vince-esque. That so I could see Vince throwing that in there.
I could see that too. I could see Vince. I could see Vince saying, "Talk about Roman hitting 1,000 days and beating Cody at Mania."
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how close that family is, but he is Triple H's daddy. So just you can text him and say, "Listen, son, I might not be here, but you're gonna follow these texts."
That's true.
Oh man. So I'm sorry. Was there anything else from Raw? Or are we all good? I forgot this
We're
much.
all good.
Alrighty.
Zach was about to say something though.
I'm sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
I forgot. I'm
Oh
I'm
man.
over here booking with TK, so my mind's
I'm
elsewhere.
sorry. I catch y'all.
Look, everybody, pay attention to Zach's thumbnail here, man. That is some creative stuff. It is hilarious. It popped me when he showed us in the chat earlier. He talked about it last week. Cocaine Booker is here.
That's right. And we're going to talk about why it turns out cocaine is the right drug to do because TK is sweeping the awards.
Hey, that is true.
Real quick, Zach, Primetime wants to ask, are you doing all right since you didn't have the Rampage stream?
I am, thank you. Yeah, things are better, so I appreciate that prime time.
Alrighty. On to NXT. What's going on in the world of NXT?
Ooh. The Dyad beat Chase U in a thrilling matchup. Weird stuff with like Thea Hale and the guy who's clearly a heel in there. I forgot his name. That's how NXT
Duke Hudson?
But, yes. He's like yelling at Chase that she's the problem, and
Yeah.
weird storytelling in NXT, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Is Shawn Michaels
Yeah,
a
just
bad
be blatant
booker?
enough. Yeah, he's just I don't think he's a good booker for our times. I'll say that. This seems like it would work with like early 90s stuff.
Okay.
Just on the chat, what you think? I'm not like overly thrilled with any of the storylines that are going on. I think there are fun things going on with it, but I don't think there's anything really noteworthy. The only noteworthy thing that happened to me for NXT was Gigi Dolan came back, so we'll see where she lands with JC Jane going into their feud and what's going to happen. Like I really don't. You had Jinder and Braun at the end. There's really nothing on here. The dyad don't do it for me. I mean, Dragunov versus Trick was cool. That was noteworthy, but the storyline, I don't know where it goes from there. So NXT is just kind
Yeah.
of floating around.
There's a few things. This is one of the better NXTs for me. Like you mentioned, Trick Williams versus Dragunov. Trick Williams showed out, man. He was doing his thing. And if you see the crowd, he had like I don't know if it was his idea or someone else in the crowd just came up with this, but he had like a church choir going on in there singing his praises. It was kind of hilarious.
That's pretty cool.
And then like Nubico says in the chat right here, Roxanne Perez is training with Maiko Satomura. So we have someone, Maiko Satomura, who uses the Final Boss moniker. You know, she was training very hard. It's a good segment. And then we have Zoe Stark coming in saying she's the final boss. Put the word out. We're getting ripped off left and right, and I'm sick of it. I'm coming for Zoe Stark.
Yeah. These damn wrestlers, they're making shirts, they're making merch with our names, our gimmicks.
They're stealing money out of my pockets. And then speaking of, but since I can't go after Zoe Stark, Sister Soul Ruka is out here going after Zoe Stark. Says she wants another crack at her. And I don't know if this is on NXT or Level Up, but she hit her finishing move. And I got to say, for the setup of it, it's getting a lot better. I'll give Soul Ruka credit. She's hitting it quicker, and she's finding out new ways to set it up.
That's good. I think that.
Yeah, but NXT still needs some work.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever go back to it, but there's nothing pulling me there right now.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I think it's worth going back to. Right now, I think everyone is safe with Tuesday nights unless you're going to watch. I'll say this right now. Maybe I was wrong about MLW going to Reels because they're pulling in about like 90,000 for the last week. So.
Oh, okay. That's. Maybe I should.
Yeah, they're doing fine. So. Yeah. I haven't seen Reels. They're showing Reels the 2-hour one, so I don't know what it looks like. But if I can find it, I'll let you guys know.
Okay. Primetime asked, did you see the Tubi commercial Grayson Waller did on NXT? That was creative.
No, I missed
I
it.
did actually see that. Did you guys? It was a thing from the Super Bowl. So like Tubi got a lot of slack because they had a commercial where it looked like you were clicking off of it. Actually, I think they did it in She-Hulk. They did it in She-Hulk with Disney Plus, like how she clicked off Disney Plus, and Tubi stole it. Now Grayson Waller stole it, so he did it pretty much for NXT to pretty much book himself for the title. So I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit.
That was actually decent. Yeah.
Okay.
And then all the way from the other side of the pond, SCW Steve drops in to say, "Best thumbnail ever. I hope you guys are doing well." Zach is killing it with the thumbnail, man. He hyped it up and he came through.
Damn straight. Thank you for checking us out, Steve.
Thanks, Steve, again for joining the video. Who is the GG Genetti? I had a lot of fun with you, Steve. That was a good hour, so I appreciate you.
And a great stream. If you haven't seen it, check it out after this episode. Great stream from you two. Noob & Co says, screw Zoe Stark. Her attitude on social media is more terrible.
Oh yeah, she has been turning up the heel levels on Twitter. I've been seeing that.
And Noob & Co, when we get to NWA at the end of the weekly recap, I'll pull up all your NWA comments. So keep coming. All right.
We do see them.
Are we ready to head into the greatest thing since sliced bread number 2? The greatest
Impact
show.
Wrestling.
Nah. I swear to God.
I thought you were setting up for that, man. I thought you were lobbing me to pick. I was trying to hit the whole run.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for coming. But you know what? A precedent has to be set. See y'all next week. AEW on Dynamite. Please, somebody jog my memory. What happened on Dynamite? Because I remember watching it, but I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, I hate to say it. Like, I'm still enjoying Dynamite, but it's been cold, man. How you feeling, Zach?
I feel the same. I feel like the heart of this company is gone, and it's just like putting out stuff. It's putting out good stuff. Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta was a good match. It was. However, Wheeler Yuta is the most annoying heel to me because he didn't start off as a heel. Now Blackpool Combat Club is a heel, but he was doing the same thing throughout. He's just randomly interrupting people during their promos, minding their own business. And he comes up and just, you tell if you think you're this, and he just like starts matches. He sucks on the mic. Like I can't. And Eric, I'm sorry, Hangman should never be near Mike. And I just there's stick to the wrestling, promote the wrestling. Not every match needs a storyline because some of these storylines are just killing me. But you can break down the rest of the show now.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, like I just went to Dynamite a few weeks ago at the Kia Forum here in Los Angeles, and going to the show is amazing. It's still very fun. But watching it, man, it's been rough. So Christian Cage came back again. They bring him out to Tony Schiavone on top of the stage, top of the ramp there, just to get attacked before he could have a talk. And I feel like we do the same rinse and repeat promo segments all the time, like that one or backstage getting interrupted. Like, can we get something different? I feel like it's just rinse and repeat now. The stuff with MJF and Danielson, that was actually pretty good. I actually really enjoyed that. The MJF stuff in the beginning, he was starting to lose me for a bit there, but he brought it back. He tied it in. I thought it was very well done, man. He started talking about Danielson's his kids, saying every time he steps in the ring, he hates Danielson because he's throwing away. Every time he steps in the ring, he thinks he's throwing away everything he loves. He has a family that loves him, and MJF doesn't have that. All he has is his belt, and Danielson wants to take that away from him, so he hates him. And the way he was just tied on stuff, it really brought me in there.
I was peaks and valleys with that because you go MJF, who just recently was, he's playing the MJF character, the I'm better than you and you know it.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and he's like all of a sudden like an emo kid, and it just didn't work. And then I'm sorry, praise for Brie Bella's getting a thumbs down for me, so that didn't work. But I do like the fact that there was a differentiating between Bryan Danielson's life and MJF's, but it was just like a little too emo for the MJF character.
Yeah. I can see that point there. Ricky Starks and Jericho. I thought it was a good segment. It's just I don't really want to see this again. And it's the same again. Rinse and repeat. Yeah, Ricky Starks already beat Jericho. Now they play off the storyline, and now we're gonna get another match at the pay-per-view. And it's just like we already seen this whole thing done time and time again. The Orange Cassidy stuff. I like Orange Cassidy. He's cool. They built up the storyline with him and Wheeler Yuta. Cassidy liked Yuta, but the best friends didn't really like him, especially Trent, and Wheeler was discouraged because he didn't stick up for him. you have Cesaro or Claudio come out there acting like his mom on the daycare, tell him to come over here now after he loses the fight. I think we need to get the belt off Orange Cassidy. He needs to drop the belt. I like him. I love the song. I love his theme song. I love his gimmick, but he needs to drop the belt. Then the last thing I'll touch on. Oh, Saraya. Saraya had a nice match with Sky Blue. I would have wanted to be a little longer, but I think that they did their job because I think Sky Blue, the chemistry was a little off there, just a little bit. You can see it a little bit there, but they still did a job. This is a big moment for Sky. She loved being in the ring with Saraya. That she was a fan growing up, and we got to see for the first time in AEW Saraya put in her submission maneuver. I think it's one of the coolest submissions ever. I loved her. Loved it when she did it from the beginning. She ties up the legs, goes for the head, and just cranks back, and it looks very impactful. And she still has it.
She holds the whole body up. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's a really good submission, man. I have never seen anyone else do it besides her. Last thing I'll say here is, of course, Moxley bleeds every week, so he bled again this week. But it was a good match. Evil Uno did his thing, and it was a good look. He was squeezing the blood out of Evil
in the main
Uno's head.
event. That was the only thing.
I mean, it was a cool visual, man. He was squeezing the blood out. That was something. But yeah,
blade jobs.
But did you catch it? Did they catch it on camera this time? I think they might have did a better job.
The Uno one, I thought we saw the thing taken out of the mask.
I don't get how you don't go over this at this point in time. Like, come on.
I'm surprised blading is still a thing today. I mean, that's what they'll give WWE.
I mean, it's not in it's not in WWE.
Yeah, they stopped that. I will give Uno props because he on his own social media and his channel he actually hyped up before and after the match. He's follow him on social media. He's cool to watch. And I watched this whole show on mute, so for me every promo was a home run. I will say, sorry, go ahead.
If you do have a second, go back and watch the MJF one. I would say that's one to go back just so we can get your thoughts on that one.
Okay.
See where you land.
I will say I will give you the props for having a moment where he spit the gum directly Vision style on Orange Cassidy's head. And it stuck there perfectly.
Yeah.
But I like the opening match. I didn't think it was going to go 20 minutes because it is always weird that the laziest character can go 20 minutes.
That's true.
Yes, the matches were good. I missed the main event, which I'm fine with. I like Moxley, but I don't know. I like skipping some of his matches because it makes the ones I see more special. They're usually just like him going crazy, and it's sort of the same style. Not bad, but man. What else was there? Oh yeah. So funny enough, I was looking over our past videos, and I was rewatching my Pop 10 I did about top wrestlers in 2019. I had so much praise for Jericho in that video. I called him the greatest of all time. I had such love for this man. I fucking hate this man today.
Oh man.
He has not elevated a single person. As somebody in the chat said, where is it? I'll find it at some point. But yeah, he has not elevated a single person, as Zemo said. Every feud he's in is for him. He named his own faction after himself. I don't dig it. He can say that he's giving people spotlight all he wants. It's the other way around. And I'm not here.
So I agree and I disagree. When it was the Inner Circle, I thought everyone had promise. Sammy Guevara should have been through the moon. Proud and Powerful was great. I felt he held him back. Everyone in the Jericho Appreciation Society, I felt like is better to be there as opposed to be without. Sammy's as cold as could be. Everyone hates him. He needs the group. And I like 2.0, but they're better off in that group. They work well there.
I will say, in the case of 2.0, literally anything would be better for them. Like,
you think so?
Literally any faction. Like, if they're by themselves, they're lost. So I don't think Jericho's doing anything special for them. I think if they are lackeys for anybody in AEW, it works. And Sammy, I think without Jericho and without Tony Khan and without what's her name, Tay, whatever she changed her name to, he would have been a top face. Like they already hit a home run with him and they screwed up.
I think part of that was Sammy's doing too. I think he has some fault there too.
That's true. He did. Yeah.
Nubico, I will give you credit to Ty, Conti, and NJ are better off without Jerk. They were not, like, for not having a tag division for women. They were great as a tag team.
Yeah.
Like
And
when they were
then bad
faces, not now
comedy.
as heels. Yeah.
It's just like I've said before, like Jericho is great in small bursts. Then he goes away to do Fozzy and he comes back, his ego is sated. But when he's in wrestling for like a long stretch, it starts to wear out.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks doing this with Jericho was like Ricky Starks being like a groundlings vet and Jericho coming in as like someone who's been training for like 2 months, where the vet's just like waiting, being polite, letting them get out their improv stuff, and just like waiting for them to hit the beat so they can move on. I'll give props to Ricky Starks for this one because he held this whole section together. Jericho was just like, oh, he was just so proud of the pop the pen got. Again with the WWE reference.
I have to go back and. So actually, okay. So now that I have you guys, can you guys explain to me the Peter Avalon thing? Because like I said, it was on mute. I just saw him come out and get
Oh,
juice effect.
Ricky Starks did an open challenge. He said, since I have no one to fight at Revolution, I'm going Revolution. Here's an open challenge. Come sign this paper. Peter Avalon came storming out, and Jericho said, I'm gonna go in it. Ricky was pretty much playing Jericho, and Jericho played into his hands to sign the paper.
Okay. I I so even on mute, Peter made me laugh. I was like, okay, that's actually kind of funny.
He's good. He does good at that role.
Tip
He cut his hair.
Sorry, go ahead. You say he cut his hair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looks good. He's really buying into that gimmick. Follow him on social media. He's also very cool to follow. Tip to Jericho: if you know you're wearing a spiked jacket and you can't do the juice effect, don't do it because there's no camera angle. It's gonna make it look good.
He's had a lot of bad juice effect attempts. I like a lot of you.
That thing was not cut right in the back. That wasn't the jacket to wear for that.
Yeah.
I think he bought that about 5 years ago or more when he was doing his New Japan stuff, and then he brought it out for this.
But anything else from Dynamite that you guys want to touch on?
Just your opinion on here. This is what irritates me while watching Dynamite, which kind of ruins the show for me. So the opening match went 20 minutes. The Starks and Y2J thing went about another 20 minutes. The 9 million tag teams for the men came out. 4-minute match for Saraya and Sky Blue. And then we set up a 3-way for Revolution. Like, again, Booker of the Year. The women on TV for 4 minutes.
So
Cocaine.
At this point, it's not even news or shocking when we bring this up. It's just like this is AEW at this point.
Shame.
We need the women, and this is why I don't want Sasha or Mercedes to go there because she deserves better than this. But we need the women who are there now to be like, hey Tony, we're fucking awesome. Like, give us some time, man.
You have these bloody spots in these matches that are just like brutal like this, and you're running stuff back to back, or you're running something that's more hard edge promo with MJF and Bryan Danielson, and then you get to a bloody match later on. You know, it'd be great to break that up and lighten the mood. Willow Nightingale, you know, like something like that. You gotta know how to book a show so it's not just like you said. It's very cold knock. It really is.
I think I agree with that. It would have been great to see Willow like more on TV. Like, she's a great character. She had a lot of momentum going. I know it kind of cooled down after her match at Anna Jay, just because Anna got hurt and it was just little bad things there. But I think by the end of the year, Will's going to be Ring of Honor World Champion, Women's Champion, and that might not be a good step up, but I think it'll be good for her. I think it's a good accomplishment. I see that happening.
Yeah, that'd be cool for her. I think it's a good accomplishment for her at that level.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, Prime Time. I believe that was you or somebody. Yeah, Prime Time. Thank you for the compliment about whatever video you're mentioning. Prime Time asked, or no, Black Gallic asked, does Impact get a cool new slide too?
I would hope so. I'm here for you, Black Gallic. I would hope so.
I want you all to know, I spent a good chunk of time working on this new layout, and I took the time to make a new slide for Impact. I did.
Let's go.
But at the last second, I deleted it because I said, you know what, this is too mean even for me. So, out of respect for the poor individuals who have to clock into that hellhole, I'm going to leave the slide the way it is. But with that knock, unfortunately, maybe if I transition into it, maybe if I just lead you into it, the pill will be easier to swallow. But go ahead, tell us about Carmi Wrestling, aka
I will tell you
Impact.
about the company that will not surrender. And right on time, as I was about to say, are you out there? Dattila is here for the Impact Wrestling.
Hey.
I'm so glad we have. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I hope everyone's doing well. If you're in the LA area, I hope you guys are staying safe. It's been wild over here, but Impact Wrestling's been keeping us safe, and they will not surrender. No Surrender was awesome. That is right. I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna talk about Mickey James biting the tongue off of Masha Slamovich to retain her belt. Masha is this Russian like beast, and she's come out here dominating through the Impact Wrestling for years now. She gets in there, she's beating up Mickey, tries to lick her whole face. Mickey says, I'm gonna bite your tongue off. And she headbutts her. And she goes in there.
This is what's hot.
Of course,
this is what's hot in the streets.
Hot in the streets. Mickey James retains the Knockouts belt against Masha Slamovich, and they might have stole the show. But still back on the Knockouts. In probably her biggest win of her career, I would say, Giselle Shaw takes on Deonna Purrazzo. Yeah, there might have been some shenanigans involved. But let's see what happens. Savannah Evans came out. She took out Purrazzo, full Nelson slam, and then Shaw gets in there. Former WoW superstar, by the way. Get the cloud, the donkeys off the screen. We're talking about greatness here. Shaw gets her with her knee strike, picks up the victory over Deonna Purrazzo. Anyone out there, if you know about Deonna Purrazzo's contract status, she's kind of been in limbo for Impact for a while. I don't know if she's going to be leaving. Hope she stays, but she's a great talent. And of course,
I think they added time on like they just did to Kenny Omega's. So if you want news and rumors,
Okay.
they added 9 months on to Kenny Omega's. They did the same with Gianna Purrazzo's because Impact knows how good she is.
Okay. So we got to also, Zima, I'm glad you're there. Dattila, I'm glad you're there as well. We got to put some respect on Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham's names because in 1 week, they teamed together against the Motor City Machine Guns, had an absolute brawl, a slobber knocker, if you will, of a tag team match against the best tag team in the world right now, Motor City Machine Guns. I loved it. And at No Surrender, they fought each other in a singles match. I'm talking moonsaults. I'm talking Gresham doing his technical wrestling, putting him in the figure four. And of course, this dude, Mike Bailey, I've earned a lot of respect from over this past year. He's been killing it over it. So many great matches with so many different people. Look up his resume. It's been amazing. He adds Gresham to that list. He does not get the victory. He hit some crazy poison around in the match, which is really cool. But as Gresham avoided his finisher, he rolled him up for the victory. So Jonathan Gresham gets a big victory over Mike Bailey. And I'm getting there. We're getting there. Frankie Kazarian gets a nice win. What else happened? Oh, yeah. The Knockouts World Tag Team Championship was on the line, of course. Jessica Havoc, Taya Valkyrie of the Death Dolls taking on Hex, Allison Kay, and Marty Bell. The Death Dolls do get the victory. Allison Kay and Marty Bell just came over from NWA. They got a shot at the titles right away. I can see them getting the belts down the line. Allison Kay is already a former Knockouts champion. Marty Bell was in there as well, teaming with Jade, now known as Mia Yim. So good, a lot of history there with TNA. I'm not going to go too far. So Eric, this one's for you, buddy. I'm going to get to Steve back on in a second, Dattila. Did you see, we talked about it earlier, Joe Hendry. Everyone loves this guy, believe in Joe Hendry. That's the moniker. I think you might like him, Eric. The Digital Media
Only
Championship was
Joe
on the line.
I care about is Blue's Clues.
The one who left you, he left you stranded, nowhere, didn't come back. That guy. Well, Joe Hendry took on Moose in a dot combat match for a Digital Media Championship.
What?
This was terrible.
Oh, what?
Listen, a dot combat, man. I'm not making it up. All right, so we have a lot of stuff going on here. Hendry tries to do a trust fall on Moose, but he avoids it. What else happened here? I'm building up to the second Dreamcast. Moose then puts him through a table. He goes nails head first into some nails. He pulls out the Dreamcast. He pulls out a remote and a VR headset. Did you, Eric? You're a gamer. Did you know a VR headset can work with Dreamcast?
Don't associate. Don't call me a gamer and talk about Impact. Don't associate me in any way with Impact.
So he gets this in, and then when he gets the VR headset on, he uses it to control Moose. He's doing all this type of stuff. He's humping the air, doing all this type of stuff. He goes for his moves. He's missing. But he's dancing to some music, of course. But of course, at the end, Joe Hendry defends his belt thanks to the Dreamcast. Till wants to know where they found the Dreamcast. I don't know if you guys know I have no idea, but Joe Hendry apparently has everything. He can pull anything out of his bag of tricks.
Woods would be ashamed of watching this match. They did this to a Dreamcast. You glossed over that. Say Moose.
Listen, I want to emphasize it, man. Eric, on a mainstream worldwide pay-per-view, when have you ever seen gaming? We praise. I'm glad you brought him up, Zach. We praise Xavier Woods for gaming and bringing it to wrestling. Why can't we do it with Impact Wrestling? Why can't we keep the same energy?
Because
I'm bringing the fickle alarm.
I have not touched that fickle alarm. Impact has set gaming back 1,000 years with this.
No.
May have set some other things back too. So Knox said Moose was dancing. Let me set this up for you, Eric. He put the VR headset on, and then when you're in a match, what does he do? Moose has it on, and oh wait, there. Now it's on properly, so I can do the fucking bit. Like, that makes sense during a match. And then Joe Hendry is playing with the Dreamcast, and then you see Moose dancing and slapping Moose Knuckle because they show
know
the
what he was
background,
watching.
what he's seen. They show behind him what he's watching, and it's a bunch of booty shots at a club. And it is so awful because Moose is just into it, and he's just. I have to say this is one of the worst. I'm gonna give praise to Impact when we go into the WON awards. I'm gonna give some good praise to them, but this is one of the worst things I've seen in wrestling in a long time.
At some point, you gotta take some chances. All right.
You mean
that's all I'm saying?
No, you did not take chances.
Hold on.
You mean to tell me if they have Bobby Lashley out here on Raw putting on VR headsets, smacking tail, you'd be fine with this?
Listen, I'm not saying I'll be fine with it, but I noticed there was a whole group of wrestling fans a few years ago praising some dude who walked out with dicks on his head.
Who's this?
You know the guy. You know him. I ain't gonna mention his name no more, but he was found working at Disney.
That's right.
And then he got fired
from there. Work there.
Well, you know what? we were younger back then. We didn't know better. We're older now. Impact should know better.
So we're gonna give Impact a chance. Zemo in the chat. Impact is more fun than AEW. It is, man. We have a variety show. That's what we're doing. But
disgusting.
I gotta get to
church.
I gotta get to real
church
quick.
Match next week.
Exactly. I told you we got it everywhere. I gotta get to the last bit of news from Impact No Surrender. Finally, this man has been on a winning streak, a dominant streak his entire time of coming to Impact Wrestling. That's Steve Macklin.
It's easy with the whole company's jobbers.
I love how he puts people in the corner and hits them with a spear from across the way. It's a great move. He's been powerful. He's been presented very well. This is the best I've seen of him. So Steve Macklin is finally the #1 contender for the World Championship. So the last bit of Impact news for this week, I want you guys to let me know in the chats now. Steve Macklin versus Josh Alexander is happening in Canada, Josh Alexander's home country. Do you think Josh Alexander can pick up this victory and continue his longest reigning Impact World Championship streak? Or will Steve Macklin finally grab the gold? Because I can tell you, man, it can go either way. He's got to fight. He's got to put a Herculean effort together to beat Josh Alexander in Canada.
Those of you who don't know, here in California, we've had lots of rain, wind.
Ton of rain.
I lost my power Friday through Saturday for like 15, maybe 14 hours. If there was a flash flood and every Impact star showed up on a lifeboat and they said, "Eric, take our hand, we can bring you to safety," I would drown. I can't swim. I would sink straight to the bottom between the devil and the deep blue sea before I ever even touch an Impact person. If by some miracle Impact Wrestling was the only thing to watch on television, this is coming from the heart, I would read a book. If Impact Wrestling, if I was dying in the desert and Joe Hendry himself had a gallon of water for me, I'd slap that shit out of his hand and tell him to go get a real job. Go be an accountant. Go be a lawyer. Because you ain't doing it right, son. Maybe one day these kids, and I mean every single one of them, these kids will finally get a shot, and they'll get to go to NXT, and they'll get to learn and hone their craft. But right now, what they doing, it ain't cutting it.
It's crazy. Tilla asked in the chat, I'm gonna cut through. I thought we were all gonna chip in to get Eric an Impact Insider subscription. I'm ready to chip in. Eric, listen, I'm on the podcast with Eric. I've doing it for years. He still hasn't sent me his Zelle, his Cash App. I'm still waiting to do this. Okay, so I'm with you, Tilla. Prime time also. Eric, what if Impact signed Triton?
I would denounce him so fast. I would sue there. First of all, ain't no flops. They can't use flop. They can't use getting wet. They can't use the seaweed.
You sound like WWE.
You're damn straight. I will send them the biggest cease and desist that's ever ceased.
Oh man. Lastly, since I see some comparisons in here, do you think Steve Maclin will be HBK to Josh Alexander's Bret Hart? I can see that. Zemo says he might be his Stone Cold to his Bret. I'm gonna go even further. We just seen it happen. Steve Maclin is about to be the Roman Reigns to Josh Alexander and Sami Zayn. He's walking into Canada and he's about to dominate this man.
I want every one of y'all to realize I've never heard a single person say, do you think this person's going to Impact, the Impact wrestler, this Impact wrestler? Nah, it's always WWE.
What do you mean? Everyone compares themselves to AJ Styles, Mr. TNA.
Mr. WWE himself.
Oh, man. And then, of course, speaking of Josh Alexander, he retained the belt against Rich Swann, who finally got a rematch for the title. He lost the title to Kenny Omega and still never got another shot. So I'm glad he got this opportunity, even though he lost. But that is Impact Wrestling, No Surrender. They had No Surrender Fallout today with some good stuff there. But
yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh, speaking of which, I
watched
both
days. They have 9 pay-per-views this weekend, Knock.
But it aired differently.
Friday. Okay.
This is what
I had no power for 2 days because all this rated in LA, so I haven't been able to watch stuff on time. But like Zemo says, we're getting Impact versus New Japan, so maybe Mercedes could be an Impact. Get that stuff going on, and Kenta, of course. So Kenta's been doing his thing. So shout out to Impact Wrestling. Eric, it's over. It's over, man.
I'm not saying that if Impact Wrestling didn't exist, we'd have world peace, but let's just try it. Like, I'm pretty sure North Korea would be chill. Russia would pull out of Ukraine. Let's just go like a few months without Impact Wrestling and see how the world economy is affected.
Listen, you already went too long without Impact, man. We already went too long. We finally got it on the show every week. AEW's for Acclaimed every week. West Coast Pop is Impact every week. Let's go.
This is some old bullshit. Before we jump into the next show,
any more chats you want to hit up there? We gotta thank you for all the support, man. We really do appreciate it. Hit that like button. It's been enjoying this.
No, I don't want this support. I don't want to touch any of these 30 chats talking about Impact. Talk about something else, and then I'll touch these chats.
Oh man. Yeah, to tell it right there. Are you guys going to Revolution in the Bay Area? I haven't been to the Bay Area yet since I've lived in LA. I'm still considering it, but I would be down.
Actually, that would be cool. I haven't gone to the Bay either. I've heard some good things. Good things about the food.
Yes.
Before we go to the next show, just want to say thank you to everyone who subbed. We are almost at the 1K mark, landmark situation. We've got, if you've been here from day one, I think it was Prime Time or somebody recently commented on a video or something about being with us for 2 years. And it's crazy. We've been doing this for 2 years. So if you've been with us since day one, thank you so much. Shout out if you subbed. You can get your name on the stream. Still new layout, but we're keeping the names there. So thank you, Benny. Thank you, Joe, Adam, Nancy, and Marita. Thank you so much. You're all appreciated. Get your names on the show, sub, and make yourself famous. With that,
yes, sir.
Is there anything worth talking about on Rampage? Actually, I guess we didn't have the stream this week, so do you guys?
We didn't have the stream. The hottest stream on Fridays wasn't there this week, so Friday, no coincidence, Rampage has some of the worst views they've had in years, the entire run, since there was no Zach stream. No coincidence.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been saying it all along. TK should be sending us a check. I mean, you know, it's actually funny. I was walking down the street, Zach, and this nice old lady, she stopped me, and I thought she wanted me to help her cross the street, but she said, "Is there gonna be a Rampage stream?" And it broke my heart when I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't think so. And she said that's the only reason she watches Rampage, Zach.
Oh, I hate to disappoint the geriatrics.
Tilla, thank you for that's what I need. I want an apology from everyone because Impact was never a part of this show. So Tilla, thank you. Appreciate you. Over on Rampage, I honestly I remember the Aussie Open versus the Young Bucks match. I will say it was a good match. I was kind of hoping Aussie Open would win because I feel like they just come over to AEW the job a lot to the Young Bucks.
I see that, but I think it's good for them because they're great on the indies. But two things: they haven't really had a lot of TV time. This is great exposure for them, and they look great showing, even though they lost. And they just tweeted out maybe a week ago saying they haven't seen each other since the last time they were on AEW. They just haven't been getting booked, and it's just crazy. TK brought him in and booked him on AEW, and they booked him on Ring. They're on Ring of Honor tapings as well. So I think it's a good look for them. Good exposure as well.
They don't team with they're not part of the Kingdom on the.
They are the Kingdom.
The
Osprey's thing.
Yeah,
they are, but they haven't really. I haven't seen them together in a while, so they really haven't been on a lot of shows together.
Oh, okay. I assumed that they would be a big part of that then, but okay. I mean, I guess in that case it's cool then. I just think it sucks when you go to another promotion or company and you lose all the time. Then you have to
I
come
do
back
get it
home
for sure.
and,
Even Zemo agrees with you. I do get that. But I see it similar as like Takeshita, how that he came in, had great showings, even though he lost. Now he's starting to build that rapport, and he's gonna start getting some wins.
Yeah. I said it after I saw it. I think TK uses the blackout way too much. It's
Oh my gosh.
At this point, like I start to question now: is it really something, or is it a technical issue? Like, did they press the button by mistake? Because they did it twice in that match. The first one, I guess, was a distraction, but nothing came. It's just done way too much. Real King of Fighters, how's it going, Zach? Another compliment on this wonderful thumbnail. Amazing job.
Appreciate it.
Was there anything else from Rampage that you remember to knock, or Zach?
I didn't have a lot of power this week because the storms here in LA, so I caught a lot of stuff late. I did see the Aussie Open stuff. I don't think it was too crazy of a show. I just think they got to figure something out, man. This show is so cold.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to do ROH. They can't. And we've already said, make the dark elevation or just dark ROH. Just book Rampage like its own separate thing. Don't make it the B show. Don't make it the extra credit. That, like, it doesn't matter. There's really no stakes in Rampage. Or if you're gonna just have basic wrestling, just like they better be like 5-star wrestling every week. Like, just
I see they're trying. They have like if you noticed, the Young Bucks, the Elite, have been on Rampage this entire time. They've been skipping down and putting them on Rampage to get some views. But I think you just need a little more something.
A part of me appreciates that, but you gotta have your best act on your best show.
Yeah.
Like, they should have enough talent that, like, someone's not being used who can make Rampage their show. Like, Jade, for one, should be the star of Rampage, and they should bring over some main event talent for her. But I don't know. It's just not hitting.
No.
All right. Let's go ahead into Friday Night SmackDown. What's going on over there in the land of the blue?
Bray Wyatt is building towards his feud with Bobby Lashley.
Oh gosh.
It's like he's going back to what's that crap that he did at WrestleMania with stupid ass
the
Muscle Man stuff.
The John Cena one.
Oh,
yeah.
What? I was a
You don't say his name.
Do the Muscle Man dance.
That was a little catchy. I'll do that. That was catchy.
So is he just going into like wacky stuff with this? So I don't know where this is going. I don't know if they're like freaking out over like how the Mountain Dew match was perceived, but I'm just like worried for Bobby Lashley for this match.
It didn't do LA Knight no favors.
No, but he came out at least this week, and I love the segment with Kofi. I love the back and forth with Woods,
Yeah,
Kofi, and himself. LA Knight held his own, but he also took some digs, so it was good. I like this back and forth. And then I thought they were going to build towards a Mania match, but Kofi and Knight had a great match on SmackDown.
yeah. Um, I like that Kofi went back and forth. I want to point out to the chat real quick. Um, Zach just mentioned SmackDown and also mentioned 3 former TNA world champions. That's besides the point. Bray Wyatt, I just can't get behind it.
Fast they abandoned that lifestyle.
I just can't get behind the Bray Wyatt stuff. I'll be honest. Like, would you have done this with the Taker? Would you put Taker in the Pepsi commercial, extravaganza, whatever you want to call it?
Michael, you try to say Pepsi's Michael Jackson gave his heart out for a Pepsi commercial.
He gave his hair too.
Exactly. Young Carlton Banks worked for that Pepsi.
Oh man. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that
in
one.
that commercial in the Pepsi Generation song. That's Carlton, the little kid dancing.
Oh shit. You learn something to do every day.
I will say I do want to jump in and say that I actually I joked around saying how much I love that Mountain Dew shit. I do like that they put LA Knight in that because it shows that they have trust for him to be in like a deal that got them $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, if you just throw at him the football and say it save us,
Yeah,
that was like a Hail Mary to the boy.
we need some cash, so go out there and make that money.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully he does something new because like he does deserve the best.
What else happened? More build for the women's tag titles with Rhea and Baszler. Same old stuff with like Natty and
Sure.
We'll get there. I guess we have to figure out Monday night for all this other stuff.
Natalia and her random partner of the year.
Yeah, like that's. I don't know.
That is a weird tradition that they do be doing every year.
Yeah.
Who's it?
I wonder if they noticed that. Like it's Tegan Knox, right?
Yes.
Okay. At least it's not Tamina. Heyo.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, I mean, it's so weird. How much longer is Natty gonna be in the company? How much longer do you guys see?
I think she has at least another 5 years. I mean, the way she wrestles, she has longevity.
I think so. She'll just be doing this for another 5 years.
Yeah, she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and she should open up a wrestling school because she is that damn good. But it's getting to the point where I feel like they just kind of be like, all right, Natty's here. We should do something for her or with her.
Yeah.
Fun stuff though. Dom versus Charlotte in the ring on the mic. I think Dom was a little intimidated on here.
He's not ready for that.
But yeah, I like the back and forth, and I like the line about Andrade that Charlotte gave.
That was hilarious.
Ooh.
She has a real Latino back at home called her Bobby or something like that. And then Andrade, Andrade responded on Twitter, and Buddy responded to say, "Hey, if Dom doesn't stop talking about Rhea like that, I might have a prison sentence too." So it's been getting a little spicy there. But as far as what Zach mentioned about Dom, I think he was a little out of his league with Charlotte. Man, Charlotte is a game changer right there on the mic. I want to compare it to, like, if you guys remember when Britt Baker first turned heel, she kind of had a lot of help to really guide her there, and she was having great promos, but you could tell she was being helped. And then she finally flourished on her own. I think Dom's in that position where he can do his thing, but he needs that guidance, and then he'll start flourishing in a bit.
I hope so, because this gimmick he's doing is great, but there is a shelf life.
Yeah.
They're making this seem like it's more of a main event build, so I they'll figure it out pretty soon if this is going to main event or the tag match with the Usos. But they're making Gunther look like a big deal, so that's an important part, because when I was growing up, the IC title was always a big match at WrestleMania, and it seems like it's going to be again.
Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre called him out. Remember getting McIntyre versus Gunther at Mania. Hopefully night 2.
This will be a multi-man match. You got to find something to do with Karrion Kross too.
He hasn't worked. He's another one who hasn't worked for me in the main roster either. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
If they had the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I think that'd be for him.
Oh God,
Throw it up.
no. That's such a
I don't mean to, like. He hasn't done it for me. He hasn't been there.
I
Like
bet
putting
it's
the
such
Revolution.
what was
Yeah.
that?
I know what you're going there.
Okay.
I do.
Are they still doing those battle royals? Because that's just sad.
We don't know yet. Nothing's been announced.
Yeah,
We're like 30 days away.
it's very close, man.
Yeah.
And West Coast Pop is going to Mania this year.
Yeah. Oh man. Anything else? Oh, go ahead.
No, nothing really else from SmackDown. Just again, I missed most of it because of the blackout, but uh, just good stuff from like Charlotte and LA Knight and the Kofi Kingston stuff. Do you guys want to hit up what Noob and Co said about the NWA? About some of the people who might be guessing to leave?
Yeah. I absolutely thank y'all so much for blowing up our chats. Now I'm scrolling all the way up to get everything Numiko said. All right, starting off NWA. Numiko, let me know if I missed anything. He says since we didn't do predictions of wrestlers in NWA who was leaving this year on Friday, might as well do it tonight. All right, if we have time, we can do that real quick. One highlight for NWA Power is the Renegade Twins dropped the NWA Women's Tag Titles. First to Pretty Empowered, and then to Missa Kate and Maddie.
Yeah, Maddie Rinkowski. I don't think I've seen her in AEW. She's very good in the ring. Good look, good skills, good attire. So I think she can. I don't think she'll be in NWA too long. She's another one that came from Vena Rosa's Mission Pro, just like the Renegade Twins. Yeah, so a lot of crossover there.
And another highlight from Numiko, the Renegade Sisters have done 30. No thanks to Mr. My. You do it better, Zach. The world is a vampire.
Billy Corgan. All right.
It's pretty much time for indie wrestlers to go to WWE or AEW.
Yeah. Just to answer this question for me, I got a quick few hitters here that was going to leave NWA. I got obviously Nick Aldis is gone. I got Camille leaving. I got the Renegades Twins are leaving. Jordan Clearwater. I know he's dancing around and fooling around with Tyrus, but I got him leaving too. He's a good talent, good in the ring, and he's still young, so I see him jumping ship.
Oh yeah. Has he been on AEW Dark or Dark Elevation yet?
No. Actually, funny enough, I don't think I've seen him.
Oh, he's gotta be. He's got to be at some point.
He's one of my picks to leave too. He's just with all the connections that he has, like with Peter Avalon and through Championship Pro Wrestling of Hollywood, and I forgot the big name thing throughout the nation.
United Network.
Yes, thank you. He could get connections to do anything else. I don't want to see people like him, and Camille's on my list as well. I don't want Camille to just be comfortable because she's a women's champion to know that she can't get even bigger somewhere else.
Yeah. And I got her. I think it's her boyfriend, Camille's boyfriend. His name was Bram in Impact. I forget Tom Latimer. I got him leaving too at some point. He's best friends with Nick Aldis, even back in the Impact days. I don't see him going to WWE though. That'd be an issue for him. He can't go there. But I can see him going somewhere else.
Okay. I honestly have not watched in a while, so I'm going to take your words for everyone who would leave. All right. I believe that is our weekly recap. All right.
That was good. Good. A lot of good stuff there, Ben.
Yeah. Very good. Let's go ahead and hit up quick things from the chat before we get to news and rumors. Somebody asked, is this a Sami Zayn shirt? No, it's not. I have no idea what this shirt is. It's just a skull that looks cool, but I'm gonna start calling it the Sami Zayn shirt.
I'll be ready.
Somebody, Real King of Fighters says, wait, is that Coke behind Zach?
Busted.
And Nubico says he sees Natalia Markova going to WWE, Mercurio, aka Brian Idol, to AEW or Impact Wrestling.
I can see it. Maybe Ring of Honor. I don't know if maybe she's good in Ring of Honor for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
All right. Zach, do you have any news and rumors you want to discuss?
Other than Dax just crying again, I can't stand this guy. I'm sorry, I'm done with him. I'm fucking done with this little bitch.
Oh man, strong words.
Oh, baby, I don't care. Fight Forever might be coming out March 31st. It is rumored to be out in the second quarter of this year. March 31st looks like it's the date. So good luck. Other than that, no, I didn't really get a chance to look at it.
I got a few things here. Unless Eric, you wanted to go.
I only have one or two things. You can go ahead.
DDP came out and said pretty much he thinks Tony Khan still doesn't realize what he lost when Cody Rhodes left, and I agree, man. There something's been missing since Cody's left, and it's big right now, and it's really affecting them. And then of course AEW, for whatever reason, they cut the Revolution Face of the Revolution ladder match from Revolution is now going to be a Dynamite this week randomly. But one good bright spot is this dude named Commander is making his debut. This dude, no, the real Commander. This dude, and he's the real king of the ropes. He can walk on all the ropes around the ring, like going rope to rope to rope, and then doing the craziest stuff. I'm telling you, man. You guys are in for a treat come this Wednesday. Zach, what's going on there, man? Touch your nose quite often. TK was on something when he did this. Like Zach said, someone did say the AEW game might be coming out next month, March, which I will be. I'm holding it to it. I will be picking it up. I'll be streaming, putting out whatever on the game. So keep an eye out for that, man. I'm sure Zach can get to it when he can, but the wrestling newsletter observer, whatever you want to call it, came out with their winners, and AEW look like they swept a lot of house. But AEW was posting some of the winners. They conveniently left off FTR. So we'll see what's going on with that.
You can see what's going on. Fucking crybaby. That's what's going on. And then he's retracting that again. I'm going to burn a bridge, and then I'm going to rebuild the bridge, and then I'm going to burn another bridge, and then you know what? I'm just going to take the train. And this guy is just, what a baby. He's such a baby.
Yeah, so that's Zach taking the shots. He got that Cena venom going at Dex right now.
No, there's such good wrestlers, and this stuff just gets in the way of it. And it's just like, okay, now I can't enjoy his matches because I know how he is online, and then this must be how he's in real life. And I'm sure like this is just like grueling to be around sometimes if you're in his life. It's how can you be like this? Like I how can you be like so bitter about like everything, and like nothing about his podcast from what I've heard was pleasant. It's all just like it's like Venom Light. It's just so negative.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out. I probably won't, to be honest.
Don't. It's not worth it. It's just not.
And then, of course, Ring of Honor has started their tapings finally for their March debut, where they'll be going up against Impact Wrestling and MW on Thursdays for Honor Club. So definitely check that out. Zach has the whole list there. If you want to read that off, I'll go through the rest of my news.
All right, I'll put this up on our Instagram after the show. But you got Mark Briscoe versus Slim J. Holy crap, Eric!
Trash.
It's finally happening. Yeah. He is back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, who?
Mark Briscoe versus Slim
Basura. Basura. Trash. What a worse opponent. That has to be a squash match. That has to be a squash match.
Get that 3 count up for the streets.
Oh, man.
The Kingdom versus the Infantry. Zack Sabre Jr. is in ROH. He's facing Blake Christian. Christopher Daniels versus Raju. The Goods versus Takashita. The Embassy versus LSG. Joe Keys and Rex Lawless. Avi Davari versus Mascara Dorado. Madison Rain and Sky Blue versus the Renegades. There you go. Lady Frost versus Will and Nightingale. Claudio versus AR Fox. Samoa Joe versus Tony Deppen. Dalton Castle and the boys. A lot of stuff. Billy Starks versus Trisha Dora. See if there's anything else on here. Wheeler Yuta versus Timothy Thatcher. More Aussie Open. And Athena versus Willow Nightingale is taped as well. And then Eddie Kingston versus Ben Deho. And
that's
Eddie
that's a weird name because if you put that together, that's a cuss word in Spanish.
Yeah. Excuse me. Eddie Kingston is going after the ROH title too. So there's ROH for you.
You know what? Let him have it. Keep him busy.
There you go.
So I just put the picture on screen for you guys. I'll leave it up while I discuss my news if you guys want to read it over. Only thing I had was Jeff Hardy. His DUI case has finally been settled. Did you guys hear what the outcome was?
I did not actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So keep in mind, this is his 3rd DUI. I believe he was already driving on a suspended license. Usually the case for this, I've seen a lot of people say that usually you would get 10 years in prison and probably permanently lose your license. The judge has said that Jeff Hardy, his license is now suspended for 10 years. He will not be able to have a license until 2033. And he has 36 days in jail, but it's been credited as time served.
Wow.
So, either his judge is a hardcore Jeff Hardy mark, or he has a very good lawyer. But the fact is, as of now, Jeff Hardy is pretty much like in the clear. He could come back to AEW tomorrow or this week if Tony Khan wanted to. Also, even though his license is suspended, I believe I read somewhere that special exceptions could be made for work.
Yeah, he's gonna get that exception. You know how it goes.
Which sucks because it's a weird case for Jeff because I don't want to wish him. It feels weird to say that he should go to jail. It's just that this is the third time. It's a very serious situation. Something needs to be done because this is a very light slap on the wrist. We'll see. We'll see if Tony Khan brings him back and if he moves forward with the his original plan to put the tag titles on them.
I still think he'll revisit that at some point if he can trust him, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's up to Matt Hardy and how much he's involved in Jeff's life.
Yeah, Matt actually kind of seemed like he was disappointed this time around. Like really, like I know I'm sure he's been disappointed in the past, but this time it seemed like it really bothered him.
I think so. He because I mean, right before it happened, he did vouch for Jeff and said he was in a good place. Like I think he really did believe it. And it seemed like he was trying to keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
Zemo, thank you for checking out the podcast. See you next week. Thank you. But we'll see what happens. It's funny because we talk about how WWE sometimes things won't go according to plan, and sometimes the outcome that happens from that is better. If this didn't happen, not that I wish it didn't happen, first of all, but if it didn't happen, I don't think we would have gotten the Acclaimed as tag champs, and we would have gotten Scissor Me Daddy.
True. That's true. I gotta say that.
All right, well, that's what I've got.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. I know once we turn this off, something's gonna hit me. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened too.
Yeah, I literally forgot the other piece of news I had as I was saying that, so I'm sure afterwards I'll remember.
Let us know in chat if you guys see anything this week. Yeah, Zemo, thanks for checking it out, man. Really appreciate you.
All right. With that, Zach, you want to talk about WON?
Yeah, so more awards. Wrestling Observer newsletter gave out their awards, and let's just go over some of them because the Cocaine Booker got Booker of the Year. Let's just start with that one. I disagree with that so much, with so little attention paid to the women's division until someone like overly catches him online about it, and he notices that. It's just like a crime to call him Booker of the Year. To have him in the top 3, I guess I'd agree with because he's put on some good stuff. But Booker of the Year, just by the women's booking alone, I have to argue that is a huge no. Let me know what you guys think.
Who would be your Booker of the Year? Triple H then, in that case?
So that's only half of the year, and a lot of it was Vince McMahon's wonkiness. I will say what Triple H did, I think, was at least on par with Tony Khan, but this is where I'm going to be nice. Knock.
Yeah.
Consistency is big throughout a year. From everyone who I've seen online, from your reviews, from Datilla and everyone else in the chats, Impact Wrestling seems to be the most consistent with solid storytelling, especially Mickie James and Deonna Purrazzo. I honestly would give it to them. I'm trying to look it up right now where it is. I don't even know if Impact was on here for it.
If you could find me a name, you could. If I was the booker for Impact Wrestling, I'd tell them to submit me anonymously. I would fear people knowing I worked for this rinky-dink, one-horse town show. Hashtag just us. Let's get it in the chat, Tsunami. Thank you for joining us. While you're looking that up.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
there you go.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Rossi was second. Triple H was third. Ghetto was fourth, and Sean Shelby and Nick Maynard are fifth.
I don't think Ghetto gets enough credit. Him and Rocky Mir does a lot of talent stuff for New Japan, where he brings people over. He handles like people like Mercedes or like people guys coming like that coming over. So he doesn't get enough credit. Chris Jericho thing he helped put together.
I was gonna ask you if you've seen any of the New Japan stuff, because I mean I see like the outcome of the big events, but I haven't been following it week to week or however.
Yeah, I think it's tough to like really critique that, but they put a lot of cool stuff together. I mean, look at the New Japan stuff with Noah. WWE blatantly ripped them off the 2-night Manias with former 2-night Wrestle Kingdom. So they're innovating over it, doing some cool stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. It is tough to say who'd be Booker of the Year then, because I do agree. There are some very serious flaws with Tony Khan, and I think every year those flaws get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I think he had a few great ideas when he started AEW.
Yeah.
But as it goes on, now he has to come up with more original ideas, and it's just not hitting. And now he's doing the NWO thing. He's not consistent.
It's just crazy because it's like everything we said about WWE, like, oh, they're doing the rinse and repeat storylines. They're taking this storyline. They were now seeing it catch up to TK within the 4th year. Again, I'm still a big fan of AEW. I will watch it. I'll go to the shows, but something has to spark it because I'm getting nervous. Like the crowds aren't really turning up like they used to. You're still getting hot crowds, but it's not selling out the buildings. The ratings haven't moved much. So they gotta find something, man.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about this, but they got a new show coming out that is going to be a behind the scenes unscripted look. I work on an unscripted show. Everything you see on TV is fucking scripted. The most that's non-scripted is going to be Survivor, because they do straight competitions that they don't go back and do reshoots, but they do coach them on what to say. All this stuff is scripted. I hate how Adam Cole was used to do this, because it's just like, I don't say it's a sellout Adam Cole, but it's just like it's a more corporate Adam Cole selling this show. It's just trying to push that it's unscripted is nonsense. Rhodes to the Top was super scripted.
Oh,
Ms. and Mrs. is unbelievably scripted. So this is going to be so scripted. So just be prepared. If you watch the show and you enjoy it, that's cool. I'm going to check it out myself, but it is going to be unbelievably scripted.
Actually, sorry, Zach. Do you mind if we take that one more time from the top? Just, I think we could get a better angle on something.
He had me going there for a second.
I get the appeal of having unscripted, like, because I mean that's pretty much what this show is. Like most of YouTube and wrestling fan base on the internet is we like to peek behind the curtain. So a truly unscripted show does sound amazing, but network television is never going to let that happen. And it must suck to be a wrestler and be told like, hey, we're going to take time from your wrestling to, do a scripted reality show. You're going to be a reality TV star now.
Yeah. This is all stuff that they filmed last fall going into, was it Revolution and stuff. So Eddie Kingston sold it, then sold it on his Twitter account. So that's what you're going to get.
I'm not going to lie. This is the one time I will compliment Eddie Kingston on this show. I would love to watch him unscripted on this show. I want to see how much of this is really unscripted.
Let's get into a couple more here just before we wrap it up. WON 2022 Worst Promotion of the Year. This is where I find bias. A lot of issues with WWE. But you're going to tell me WWE is Worst Promotion of the Year.
That's super
over NWA, over CYN, over Triple A Mania, which sucks off anyone who wants to come and grab a AAA belt and a fucking small fry and leave, or GCW, where it is what it is. I don't mind GCW. It just is what it is.
Don't quote me on this, but isn't Conan the one booking AAA?
Yeah,
like he's had this has been a terrible year.
Because I know they've had a category for like ethical worse. Is this like quality worse or ethically?
They
This is
don't have
quality.
like
There's an ethical
yeah.
one. Hold on, you guys can talk. I'll look up the ethical one.
All right.
They don't really have basis for some of this stuff. Like it's just like it really just seems biased. And like I know TK came out and talked about Errol Hawani, which that's a whole shitstorm of its own. But like even if that guy is biased for WWE, there's a lot of people biased towards AEW. If I'm being honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what WWE did to Dave. I know he has beef with a lot of the talent, but
Yeah.
to call him the worst is that's Basura, as Knock would say.
And just to jump on that, worst TV show, Raw took the first one, NXT took the second, Power took third, then Rampage, and then WoW. First of all, I don't think you're really watching WoW because WoW is just fun. It's not this nonsense that's trying to please anyone. It's just a fun show.
Right.
Speaking of WoW, I think we're caught up now to see some of the episodes me and Eric might be on. So definitely check out WoW if you have it on check your local listings.
Yes. Get your guidebook out. So he's counting the time when Vince was in charge?
Yes, all of 2022.
That's such a tough call though, because I mean that Raw was awful in that time.
Raw was awful. I'm just saying, like, Power consistently awful. Power not on a lot of the year. Like
I think I would watch Power over. I would regret it, but I think if we had to pick one show to stream, I would pick Power.
Wow.
I would 3-hour Vince McMahon Raw. Those Raws made me angry.
True. Those are terrible.
But
I
but the fact that Triple H, like, there is the Triple H period in there, so I don't think it should be worse. I guess it should be like second if you're mixing those two in.
I would say about third or fourth. I can see NXT being up in the top there because I mean it really has to hit you to like NXT. It's not the old NXT.
Right.
All right, you want to get to the one category here. Most disgusting promotional tactic. Number one, Vince McMahon appears on TV after sexual misconduct allegations.
Yeah.
2, Saudi Arabia relationship. They're right on there with that. 3, Ric Flair's last match. 4, Stephanie McMahon's goodbye to Vince McMahon. And 5, AEW not punishing CM Punk after Adam Page call out. First of all, again, punish the Elite too. They're just as part of this. Like whatever.
Yeah. I don't get what they wanted else to be done about CM Punk. And then the Stephanie McMahon thing, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah. Everything else I can see.
Yeah. I get on one hand, trying to do something nice for her dad, but also her dad's a creep.
Yeah. All right. The rest of these you can check out online. If you guys got any other comments on it, I'm here for it.
Cool. Real quick, before we go into promo school to wrap the show up, Tsunami, thank you for the love on the new stream look. Much appreciated. Zach, another compliment on this amazing thumbnail. Tsunami, we love you too. And the skull reminds you of Gears of War. That is why I put it up there. Reminds me of Gears of War 2. And now, without further ado,
one of the few quality Xbox games.
Without further ado, Knock, would you please take us into...
Of course, man. It's been a great stream. It's been a great few weeks for the podcast, man. The channel's been great. We really appreciate all the support, the likes, the subs. Check out our shorts. Eric is airing out his shorts everywhere, man. Check it out. Live streams with Zach every Friday, man. And then we got a whole lot of videos coming for you guys. Really appreciate it. So thanks for everyone jumping in the chats. But of course, it's the moment you all been waiting for. It is time for the main event of the evening. Zach, take it away at promo school.
All right, today on promo school, the cocaine booker himself has gone mad, and one of you is a cop. You're going to bust Tony Khan on booking on cocaine, and the other one is going to be Tony Khan explaining your decision. So the cop, you've seen Tony Khan's booking, you're going to book him. It's like when someone gets pulled over, hey, you were swerving. Hey, this wasn't on. Hey, you whatever. You're the cop, and you're going to book him on this. Hey, you're only booking one women's match show here. You're only doing this. You're clearly booking on coke. And the other one's Tony Khan. No, officer, I'm doing this because this makes sense because of this or that. So who wants to be who?
I think I'm going to call Tony Khan on this one.
You're going to call Tony? That's cool. I think you might do a better Tony Khan.
All right.
Who gets to go first? Let's see.
Knock, you're going to start off because you're the one calling him out on here because Tony Khan is just booking coked up left and right, running wild.
Okay. Shoot, where do I start, man? You have so much. Um, First of all, Tony, Khan, TK, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, and can say will be held against you. The court of law.
You have the
I'm
right
not
to
gonna
remain
read.
silent. I've been
I'm not gonna
I've been silent this whole time. What are you talking about?
listen. How can you explain booking two different shows? Are you trying to compete against yourself this year for Booker of the Year? What are you doing?
Hey, you tried booking two different shows, huh? You know how hard I run the Jacksonville Jaguars. Have you ever heard of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Nope, that's the Cloud Show.
I have a football.
Cloud Town.
I have a football club in Europe, and I'm booking two shows. Okay, you try doing all. Hang on.
Listen,
Eddie,
Tony.
that's a good
Tony Khan. Come August 21st at roughly 12:03 a.m. We seen you on tape, rubbing your nose next to CM Punk. Do you care to comment?
Now, first of all, I just want to say CM Punk is a very close personal friend of mine. Okay, we hug all the time. We're really big on hugging. But before I get to CM Punk, I just want to say that I book women all the time. All right, I love women. I book them all the time.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I want to go back and watch the tape. Go watch the tape. What's your
Did
Twitter
you book
handle?
more? Did you book more than one woman in a show in an episode?
What's your Twitter handle? I'm gonna go at you.
That is private information. That is very private information. I'm a man of the law.
You are as much a cop as Tony Schiavone is a journalist.
Oh yeah, you say you book women on your show. How many women's matches do you have on your show last week?
Let me ask you a question. How many women matches? How many women matches are you booking on your show? Huh?
We have a lot of women over here at the county over here in the force. So now let me ask you, Tony Khan, another question. What time did the women's match start?
You know what time it started? It started.
Well, tell me what time did it start? Tell me.
It started on primetime TV. That's when it started. I'm giving these women a job. I'm giving these women a platform. I am women's pro wrestling. Okay. As a matter of fact, I think I've given them more time than and I am the Stephanie McMahon, Trish Stratus. Women have never had it better.
So
thanks to
me. Tony Khan, I'm asking about your women's, and you just mentioned two WWE women, but you're booking AEW. I just gotta say, you know you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of Jade Cargill?
Nope, because you don't put her in the spotlight.
Oh, so you're the sexist
I heard
now.
of Bianca Belair.
You know what? I'm gonna call my daddy to write a check, and I'll give it to all the women. How about that? My daddy will write a check to all these women. And
sir, that is what got Vince McMahon caught up. That is illegal.
I think he's
cocaine's a hell of a drug. All right.
And speed.
Oh
Nice.
man, that was some good
nice.
stuff there, man.
As we celebrate the cocaine booker of the year, it is what it is.
Do you think they mentioned it on Dynamite? They're gonna give him his
Probably.
They'll probably show the pictures like they did when they got those plaques, and they kept showing them before the commercial breaks. So
that is actually something I've started to look forward to now. Is whenever WWE or AEW gets like the best wrestler of the year or something. I love when they acknowledge as soon as they win. It's just the pettiest little thing. Like they never acknowledge anything outside of their company except when they win these awards.
yeah. Yeah, WWE does it all the time. Like Sports Illustrated and Yahoo Sports and all these places talked about us this week. Like, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that is one of these days I'll remember what episode we're on. I'm gonna guess 147? 6. Damn.
146, almost. You jumped the gun a bit.
Oh man. Thank y'all for watching so much. I had a great time. Be sure to check out Knox Short, just came out today. Roman Reigns and what's it called? Metro. I'm not hip. I don't know.
Metro Boomin.
Thank you. Quick question for you two. Are you guys gonna watch The Last of Us tonight?
Yes, I plan on it.
All right.
I'm gonna get some nice curry chicken cooking soon. I'm gonna turn on my PlayStation, watch my Sony exclusive HBO show, and me and Zach gonna have a review out sometime this week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, but we'll see.
Meanwhile, I'll be going back and watching the Master Chief making love and slaying aliens over here. He's both sides of the spectrum, love and war. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, and that's all thanks to you guys. Get
Right
your
there.
name on the screen. Any last words, Zach?
No, just thanks for everything, and thanks for checking out the videos. Especially thanks to Steve for helping us out this week. So appreciate all of it.
Absolutely. Last chats, Mr. All Power. The cops are gonna bust Zach soon. Ready or Not Wrestling, thank you for saying this is a great episode. We're the best. Thank you.
Thanks.
Prime Times, this is his favorite wrestling podcast, and he's subbed with his new account. We'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. If each and every one of you makes 10 YouTube accounts and subscribes, they will take it.
Yes, sir.
And of course, love for the Just Us League from Tsunami, my right hand man. Prime Time, get the OnlyFans ready. We celebrating tonight. And with that, Zach, where can they find us?
They can find us over in Dave Meltzer's favorite promotion, AEW, hanging with Tony Khan, taking bumps all night long.
Very nice. Check out our socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok on the screen.
TikTok, we're on there.
We're on there. See that beautiful background behind Zach. And with that, folks, as he fades into his cocaine, quite literally, that was a beautiful effect. Thank you all for watching. See y'all next week.